Welcome, everyone, to the Holstein House podcast. I'm the West Virginia woman, Robin, of RobinHolstein.com and Holstein House, where my guests get a great night's sleep at a fair rate plus breakfast. This is a podcast that looks at society and culture issues affecting families in West Virginia and the United States, from food preparation and storage, gardening, home repairs, current events, and more. We'll go around the table and back in 60 minutes or less. So let's hang out and talk a while. Good morning, everyone. Oh no, it looks like my Rumble feed is not set up correctly. Oh, darn it. Well, anyway, I hate that for Rumble. I'll have to load that up later. Oh, hopefully you will. Hopefully you'll forgive me for that. I'm not a professional broadcaster. That's just how that is, and you'll just have to uh, put up with some of those little inexperienced mistakes. All right, so hey, I am Robin of Holstein House, Robin Holstein of Holstein House, and this is the Holstein House broadcast, brought to you from Kanawha County, West Virginia. And today is Friday Live Unscripted. And what we usually do on Fridays is we just kind of catch up on things that have happened through the week. And today we're going to kind of talk about a few of those things. We're going to answer any questions anyone may have on running a small B&B from your home, food preparation, storage, things like home canning, home dehydration, storing things in your pantry, using things in your pantry, current events, and more. So, I have what's considered a small homestead. I mean, I just have a rural lot. I have some chickens and some ducks. I have a backyard garden, and I do my home canning and things like that. So that's where we're at right now, and we're glad to have you. Glad to have you. Let me look over here. There's nobody logged in just yet, but we'll say good morning. All y'all. Yeah, all. And see who shows up. Maybe a short show today. I don't really have a lot to share with you this morning in particular, but if anyone has questions, I'm more than happy to answer those. I was going to try to do a noster nest this morning, but I got tangled up trying to set up a window to share, and my dryer washing machine was spinning. That's probably, you may have heard that when we first started live, and the basket is kind of self-balancing in that, but the machine must be off balance because it was thumping around quite a bit, and it usually doesn't do that. But I've got that going this morning, so we'll get started with what's going on. So if you tuned in last Friday and you didn't see the actual live, but you saw a very brief notice that I wouldn't have a live last Friday because my dad was ill and I was taking him to the hospital. He is doing okay. He stayed overnight. He has a heart concern. He has a stent, and he's on blood pressure medicines and a couple other things. And he prefers to go to Charleston Memorial Hospital, or CAMC Memorial, which is what they call it now. And he goes there. That's the heart hospital, and Mom went there too because she had significant heart issues, but we took him there, and they do, if you go there, you are automatically going to be there for hours because they're going to do an initial set of blood work When you get there, then after a few hours, they're going to do another set of blood work to see if there are any markers of a heart attack. And he didn't have any of those. They did some chest X-rays, which looked okay. They did an MRI or a CT of his chest, and the doctor said, the emergency room doctor said he saw some calcifications near the heart that he was concerned about. Wanted to know if he'd stay over, and I said he probably would if you talked to him. That ER doctor kind of bothered me because he kept looking at me, talking to me, and Dad was sitting there. And Dad has all of his mental facilities. He's just fine. He can make those decisions. Sometimes he doesn't understand the jargon, but he does get it for the most part. And in some of the lab works, they found that he had a UTI. Dad has had those before. Once you get them, they're easier to get, and they started him on some antibiotics for that. So his heart specialist came in. He's one of the few doctors that actually does in-hospital visits that Dad has. And he came in and just said it's not his heart. It has to be his lungs. If he's having trouble breathing and getting around, there's nothing in the tests that say it was his heart, so it must be his lungs. So when they discharged him, they discharged him with an inhaler, which was a different type of inhaler. It wasn't just the regular, squishy like you see on the commercials. It had a different type of case around it. He had to dial up, and then he had to press a button. It seemed overly complicated. It really did. So he got, I think it's called Comvent. It's an albuterol and something else. And so they discharged him with that. We went to, by the time he got through all the discharge process, we got to the pharmacy, they had his antibiotics ready, but said, oh, we don't have the Comvent. It will be Monday before it gets here. So automatically he doesn't have the medication. And so Monday comes and the pharmacy doesn't have it again. And we end up getting it transferred to a different pharmacy. We get it. He doesn't know how to use it. He doesn't tell me until Wednesday that he didn't know how to use it. So he doesn't use the inhaler for like 4 days. And when I called him on Wednesday and asked how he was doing, he said, I think I may have to go back to the hospital. I'm just not feeling good. I said, what do you mean? And he said, I'm not feeling good. I said, so the inhaler's not helping? He said, well, I can't figure out how to use it. And I was at the church because we had the Lunch and Learn started Wednesday, and we'd had Bible study, and he didn't have a Bible study, which I kind of figured. And so I said, well, once the Lunch and Learn is over, I'll come over and look at it and see what's going on. I said, because you haven't used the inhaler at all for 4 days. If it's in your lungs, you're not improving because you're not getting your medicine. He said, well, I think it may still be the infection. I said, well, we'll talk about it when I get over there. And I did go over after, and it's just a block. We all live within walking distance of the church. And I went in. He just had, because as I put my vehicle in park, my sister's text came through and said, oh, we figured it out. You don't have to stop. Well, I was already there. I would have stopped anyway. So I went in and I looked at this contraption and I thought, good Lord Almighty, I wouldn't have figured it out either. It just was overly complicated for someone to have to figure out how to use it. And he wasn't getting it dialed in just right. It has a gauge on the side that tells you how many doses are left in it, which is fine. But it's covered in this hard acrylic case, and so you dial it in until it clicks just so, and that means that it's put the dosage you need into a chamber. You open the top of it, which is just a lid, and then there's another button you have to hit it's just overly complicated. And anyway, so he used it, and we talked about it for a little bit, and I said, if you're not feeling better Saturday or Sunday, it's automatically the emergency room, because there's no doctor's office that's open that you can go to. Well, I mean, there's those urgent care things, but he wouldn't go to those. And you've got hours at the hospital you're going to sit for them to tell you there may or may not be anything wrong. And I said, you got your INR test on Friday. We'll see how that goes. And he said, well, it may be that I'm feeling better. Let's give it a couple days. So I'll probably have to go. Fridays is his INR day. So I'll probably go over there today. Usually he comes over here, but he's not feeling well. So I suspect he may want me to come over there. Speaking of which, let me turn that off so that I can't get my finger in there. Why can't I get my finger in there? There we go. I'll have to go over there here in a little bit and do his INR test. And then we'll see. The INR is for he takes a blood thinner, and it's to keep track of how that's going. But that has taken up quite a bit of our days, checking on him and stuff. But he's doing okay. Okay, not great, but okay. Oh, let's see. The B&B right now we don't have a guest for the weekend. Now that can change. My guests can't book same day, and that is a protection for me. And if you're hosting, you may want to consider that as you decide, how you're going to host, or if you're trying to decide whether to continue to host. Setting those boundaries, giving yourself some time is very important. I have mine set so that I have a day in between guests because I need a day to do the laundry. I need a day to do the things here in the house, to restock, supply food, because we don't eat a lot of breads. So when I do breads and stuff for guests, um, I put some of it in the freezer. I set some of it out. It just depends on what's going on. But if we don't have several guests, then I don't keep that stuff. So I keep a day in between my guests so that I can get everything ready. Some people just don't mind back to back. I can't do back to back. There's just too many things going on around here to have back to back guests, and I need the time, to take care of my own household things and take care of the dogs and the cats and the chickens and the ducks and things that are going on here. So having back to back guests is not something that I enjoy doing, although I enjoy having them. There's just too much going on. So right now, someone could book for tomorrow and Sunday, but we don't have anybody coming in as of right now that I know. Now I haven't had any inquiries on the new AirBTC listing, and I just popped it up to look at my dashboard right before we went live. And our internet has been flaky for the past couple of days. It actually was off a couple times yesterday. So when I look at the dashboard, I'm not seeing any new inquiries there. I don't have a lot of promotion on it either. Mostly I'm promoting it on Nostr. And I have not, because of some of the other things and dad and stuff, I have not been able to focus on that very much. So I don't have a lot going on with it. Now, Airbnb, I tend to have, about 20 views a day, people looking at things. That doesn't mean they're going to book, and on the website, I think a lot of the stuff on my website is a bot. We have several more than that, but I think it's a bot. It just because it has all the signs of a bot. So the calendar is open on AirBTC. I did get in there and close it last weekend when Dad called and said he was sick, but right now it's open. I'm going to set up a discount code for it, or a promotional code for it, and get that going on Nostr soon. So if you are watching or listening, keep an eye or ear out for that discount code to start. The ducklings and the chickens, their feathers are still, and I'm going to share the screen and show you what I mean. And let's make that there. So what you're seeing there are the, come on you. I need to get to that screen. Are two, I don't know which ones they are, whether it's the males or the females that you're seeing there, because I don't see any difference in their coloring. They all look just alike to me in their coloring. What I do see a different, or I don't see the difference in, I hear the difference in, is their quack, or the noise that they make. So see, they all have this going on here around their eyes. I mean, there's a little bit of difference between this one and this one. There's a dark streak here that it may just be the angle, though, that this one may or may not have. It's not as prominent here, I don't think. This one, it's kind of, it doesn't look exactly the same, but it's kind of the same. But the biggest difference, their chests all through here all look just alike, and their feathers on their back it's just so close to being the same. It's hard for me to tell the difference between the birds. But the males definitely have the strep throat, sore throat, hoarseness that that the males tend to have. There are two that are giving you that beautiful, cartoony quack, that we say. And there's two that are doing this hoarse, sore throat sounding, wheezy thing that a male is going to do. So there's no curl to the tail. They're what, 9 weeks now? I think 9 weeks. I think it's 9. So I don't know when that will come in. I have read that won't come in for another 4 to 6 weeks or so, the curl to the tail. So, but they don't look like their daddy duck. To me, they don't. And I guess mommy and daddy aren't the same breed. I thought they were, but I guess not. So, all right, let me, one of the other things that we're working on, well, real quick, the garden, the backyard garden, the backyard container garden, because I have my garden in containers again. The tomatoes are full, but they're not red. And if they all get red real quick at the same time, I'm in a world of hurt, because there are a ton of those little grape tomatoes. I mean, a ton of them. Now, the ducks and the chickens are getting some of them, but they're not getting them all. And some of them are up high enough that they can't reach. I do have one that I think has blossom end rot. I'm not sure exactly what I need. I know I can use aspirin. I don't think I have any though. I probably should have used it already. I don't know if I can use it now. It may be too late in the season, but I understand that aspirin in the soil when you plant the roots or when you start the seed will prevent blossom end rot. I have to think it has to do with the acidity, but I don't know that. So the sweet peppers are doing the same. The sweet peppers are coming on, but they're not getting large. They're just kind of stalled at about the size of my fist instead of, I'm used to having some that are taller than that. But they're coming along slowly. So it may be that I have them scooted back too far and that they're getting too much shade, the peppers and the tomatoes. So, and the broccoli just didn't, once that groundhog started eating the broccoli, it just was a waste of my time. The roof on the doghouse has not started yet. That's being constantly delayed by rain. It's not a project like the and it's a different contractor, but it's not a project like the front porch was. The front porch was under the porch, and so rain should not have affected it. It took forever, and I was not happy. But the doghouse roof, they can't roof it in the rain. So I am going to reach out to him today just to touch base and make sure that he doesn't forget us. I don't think he will because he has a contract, but just to, you know, I don't know what his other projects are. I know the rain delays the other projects, and so that bumps me as well. Now we have the Ramsey house. And if you will let me try this, let's see if I can show you these pictures. I know that's the ducks. Let me see if I can kill this. And did that pop? That did pop up for you. Very good. Okay, so this is the Ramsey house. Now it's not a real good shot of the front because right off the screen right here, this is like the front where the front porch starts. And it looks like this on the other side. So I could have got a better picture. This is the side of the house. This house we bought some years ago, and Mr. Holstein thought we thought we would be able to update it. And the plumbing is all on this side, and the plumbing had burst. The previous owner was not well, was staying with family and healing, and it was over the winter, and these lines burst and water ran for I don't know how long. So she wasn't able to get that repaired. So those lines were broken. When she came back to the home, she was bringing 5-gallon buckets of water in and using that when she stayed there. So once and I say we generically, mostly Mr. Holstein at this point, got to where he was able to, this was a shed on the back that he just took down. It was counted as a room by our local government, and taxed as an additional room because it was enclosed, even though it was rotting down. So he got that pulled out, and you can see back here, he's a little fire where he's burning some brush and stuff. And this is another view of that as he was tearing it down. This is an old doorway that would have been on the original house. And this is some brick. It's not structural brick. It's cosmetic brick. And there is this is a wooden file cabinet, and on the other side of this wooden file cabinet is the sliding door where you go into the back of the house. And there's a couple windows that have been boarded up there. So he got all this off of there by yesterday. He's been working real hard on that. He got that done. This is part of the trash. He took a big his truckload. His truck was full today. He took it to the landfill. Now this is inside the front of the house. This is a corner. It's hard to see where it meets, but it's a corner. This is it right here. This is all termite damage or termite trails and stuff. So when he took the paneling down here, and he ended up having to brace the upstairs because you'll see here in a second, there's so much termite and rot damage that the house is going to have to come down. This is that same room. This is that corner. This is the front. The other side of that front door is right here. And so he's had to support the upstairs here because it's just until we get it tore down because it's in really bad shape. This is looking towards the back to the area where he took down the shed out back. And what you can't see it from here, but this floor is like V-shaped because there's a joist right here, and the floors are falling. The floors are falling away. This is the opposite side of the room that I showed you with all the termite damage. So on the other side of this paneled wall is the front room where I was showing you where those windows were and where the termite damage was. This is the floor. This is how the floor is falling away. This is a main joist here, or the joists are here, and this is the main whatever from the other side. You can see this floor has fallen away, about 4 or 5 inches here from the floor. So this paneling is on here. The floor would have been attached to this board here, and it's fallen. It's fallen there. So the whole place. This is the laundry room, which you would enter from the back where he tore down the shed. And this is a hole caused by a roof leak. And you can see all of that. And so all of this floor is also rotted. And when you walk on it, it crunches. So we'll have to be very careful as we clear that out. This is looking from that hallway. If you were looking this way, you were looking out the back sliding glass door to the back to that shed. This is the front door. Over here is the room that I showed you with the termite on it. This is one of the paneling pieces that he took down that exposed that. This is the kitchen. This refrigerator you see here used to be tucked away right here behind this little piece of wall, because this wall here is where the kitchen stove and counter and some upper cabinets are. And then the L shape over here is the sink and some more cabinets and stuff, and a table built and bolted to the floor. And this floor has given way behind this piece of panel here. It has given way, and Mr. Holstein just almost couldn't get the refrigerator up out of there. It had sank so far down. He did get it back up out of there, but that's where it is. So yesterday I spent a lot of time boxing stuff. You see some boxes here that I was boxing some stuff up and trying to get it out of there. Oh, that's from this morning. Sorry. But the house has got to come down, and so I am in the process of well, he's still in the process of taking stuff down. We'll be clearing it out. We have to get the downstairs. It's full. She left everything in there, and I've reached out to her about some of her family photos and some her grandparents' commemorative wedding certificate. It's not the one from the courthouse. Her birth certificate. I mean, some of her father's military documents. I mean, there's a lot of everything she had. She just walked away from. This is the second house we've ended up with that way. But I want to get as much of that to her as I can, the paperwork and the photos and the personal things like that. The rest of it we'll be clearing out. We're going to be selling some of it. We're going to be donating some of it away. There's just a lot of clothes in there. I don't know what to do with the clothes. I really don't want to wash all that stuff, but it's filthy from sitting in there for so long. And, I hate sending it off someplace like a Salvation Army or Goodwill or Heart and Hand or whatever when it's dirty, because I don't think they wash stuff. And these things are going to smell, and I just will have to decide that. I do have some things in the dishwasher that are being cleaned up. Well, they're clean now, but I got to take them out of there. I've got some more things to put in there, some old Tupperware, old orange Tupperware canisters and clear orange top canisters, and just a lot of stuff like that from the kitchen. And, you can say, well, you can yard sell it. Well, yeah, I can, but that's a lot of work too. And we've got to get that place empty and down. So we have to clear out the downstairs first, so that we can bring the upstairs, because this was a 4-bedroom place with the room jutting out over that living room that I was showing you was it has books and stuff. It's almost like a miniature library kind of thing, but it's full of books, and so there's a lot more to get out of there, and we're going to have to get that taken care of soon. And I know I haven't gone but about just shy of a half hour, but I don't have anyone commenting. I don't have anyone saying hello or anything, so I don't know that I've got anybody on. I can see that there's nobody on Facebook right now, so I haven't had anybody say hello or anything. So I'm not going to just keep going just for the sake of keep going. I'll cut it short as soon as I wrap everything up, if there's no other questions, because I have so much to do. I've got to get that stuff packed up. I may post some of it on Nostr. I haven't tried that yet, but I haven't tried selling things on Nostr, but I may play with that and see what happens there. So at this point, I am just going to do my little plug here that if you're traveling to or through West Virginia on the West Virginia Turnpike, Interstate 6477, and you're looking for a place to stay, you can go to robinholstein.com and look at Holstein House on the menu. And from there, you can link to our direct book. Um, and look at at our rates and our specials and things and opt to direct book there, or you can go over to the Airbnb page. That's quite fine too if you would rather do Airbnb. We accept that as well. And either way, you have a good stay. We take good care of our guests. And we like to provide a nice continental style breakfast, sometimes with homemade sourdough, sometimes with homemade white bread. It just depends on what all's been going on, how much time I have, and our direct book guests though. Now our direct book guests get a lot of extra perks, and they have a lot of specials and things that they can choose from that Airbnb just doesn't get. I mean, I just don't offer. I mean, you can be the nicest person on the planet, but if you Airbnb, then you're not going to get it because Airbnb takes up to $10 in fees out of what you're paying. So if my rate was $10, you're paying Airbnb $20. I don't get all of that. So that's not my rate, but if that we went through that a couple of episodes ago where I showed the breakdown of what Airbnb pulls from their hosts. And if you direct book, we don't have to deal with that. So my direct book guests get a break on the cost of the room, how much they're paying out actually, and they get a few little extras to choose from. One of them that I keep up all the time is our chocolate and coffee package. And anybody who direct books or AirBTC, now AirBTC will qualify for that as well. You will get Hall's chocolates, which are made in West Virginia, Swiss style chocolates made in West Virginia, and Coal River coffee. It is the Mountaineer blend of Coal River coffee, and Coal River coffee is made in St. Albans, or is roasted in St. Albans, West Virginia, which is just a few miles from me. So it's very good coffee. Some of the things that are coming up ahead this weekend, the 14th and the 15th, Friends of Charity Auto Fair in Beckley. That's happening this weekend. The Skyline Bluegrass Festival on the River is in Ronceverte. Now, Ronceverte's a good little drive from us, but it's still there. Maybe you're going down there and traveling back on north and need a place to stay. Look us up. Look us up. The West Virginia State Water Festival in Hinton. That's a little drive too. The Hot Dog Festival is on the 29th in Huntington. Huntington's about an hour away, but that hot dog festival is absolutely wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful. And then the Mad Fest at Ridenour Lake is in Nitro, which is about a half-hour drive from us. That's also on the 29th. So this has been episode 80. I forgot to say that at first. Episode 80 of the Holstein House broadcast, and we've got 20 more till we hit our 100th. It'll be about 5 weeks away or so, and looking for ideas. What would you like to do for our 100th episode? We'll have some kind of giveaway. It'll be a lot of fun. I want to ask if you got this far and you enjoyed what little bit you heard today, because it is a little bit abbreviated. To hit the thumbs up or the likes and boost and zap and all of those fun things that you can do to show your appreciation. Subscribe and share the link to the broadcast and say, hey, look, there's something different going on over here in West Virginia, in Kanawha County, West Virginia, you may want to be a part of and listen to and learn about. And hopefully as some things calm down over at the church. We've had quite a busy summer so far, but next week we'll have the nutrition program finishing up, and that will have me only there on Wednesday so we can get back to a regular routine and things can settle down a little bit. And if anything that I've said today in the broadcast has been of value to you, I hope you'll express that. Some of you guys can share Satoshis in different ways, whether it's a zap or a tip or whatever way you feel best of how to do that. We do appreciate it. And be sure to follow us on all of the social media platforms. And you can go to robinholstein.com, go to the contact page, and find all of those. They're there and waiting for you to access, because we're on a bunch of the different social media sites. We also have a Telegram group, which I'm in just about every day. I do some kind of post in there and would like to invite you to join it if you're using Telegram. It's t.me/Holstein House, HOLSTEINHOUSE. That's the group. T.me/Holstein House. I invite you to join that. We do use Fountain as our preferred podcasting application. So if you use Fountain.fm, look up Holstein House and we'll be there as well. So we're gonna close it off there. Not seeing anybody hanging out today. It's a busy Friday and it's in the summer and people's got a lot of stuff going on. So I do appreciate everybody. And we're going to finish up for the day, and we will see you again on Tuesday. Tuesday's a little more scripted than what today was, but Tuesday's live. We will share some more information and some more things. Oh, wait, no, Tuesday won't be live. Tuesday will be my last pre-recorded Tuesday for a long time because of our project at the church. So glad I caught myself on that. So Tuesday, July the 18th will be our final pre-recorded Tuesday for a long time, and we'll be back to live after that. But then we will see you again live next Friday live and unscripted. So with that, I'm going to go, and I thank you for joining me today, and come back anytime, and please like and share. Thanks. So there you have it. Post your comments, do all that boosting, liking, sharing, thumbs up, and stuff that helps spread the word and poke the algorithms. Follow me on most of the big social media platforms and look for my name, Robin Holstein, or Holstein House. Till next time, bye-bye.